cattle may be thin and skeletal, but the farmer is the backbone of all economy, and there is hope in that he has survived. There is hope in many scenes. Bangladesh echoes today with chatting and laughter and plans for the future. In the western sector, Pakistan had planned two major offensives against India. The first one was in Chamb in Kashmir. The second was at Longewala, a small place in Rajasthan. The aim was to capture important towns like Ramgarh and Jaisalmer. As in Chamb, so in Longewala, the enemy thrust was blunted. To the complete rout of the American Patton tanks in the Khemkaran sector in 1965. The Battle of Longewala changed the entire complexion of the war in this sector. In the next few days, the Indian armed forces were able to capture a 10 to 15 kilometer belt all along the boundary. Our armed forces captured about 10,000 square kilometers in Sindh and Hyderabad region. Bangladesh, the 193rd and youngest country in the world, sees a return to normalcy. Civil administration has been established after years of Pakistani dictatorship. The harrowing months of terror and bloodshed are over. Dhaka, the graveyard of the two-nation theory, has become the capital of a free nation. Thanks to the Indian Army engineers, many disrupted rail and road connections are now open to traffic.
আমাদের মাতা পিতা ভুঁই আমাদের নাতি সাওয়াল সাত পুরুষের জমিন আমার তিন পুরুষের
Here, 9 months ago, General Yahya Khan, Mr. Bhutto and Sheikh Mujibur Rahman met. The rest is history. The inhuman atrocities committed by the Pak occupation army, especially in the Bengali-speaking areas of Dhaka, are beyond description. Shaheed Minar, the Martyrs' Memorial, a symbol of Bangladesh nationalism, was razed to the ground. The 10 million refugees who sought shelter in India were by their very numbers historic. Today, the flag of freedom everywhere. The free citizens of Bangladesh offer help to the new government in every aspect of reconstruction. Addressing a gathering of government employees, Prime Minister Tajuddin Ahmed thanks the government of India who helped Bangladesh become a reality.
একটা কমিটমেন্ট করে শ্রীমতী গান্ধী আপনার কাছে আসতেন না, আর আপনার দেশে তারা নিজের ইচ্ছা করে ঢুকেন নাই। আমরা বাংলাদেশ সরকার আমন্ত্রণ করেছি বন্ধু রাষ্ট্র হিসাবে। আমাদের স্বাধীনতা তারা যেই দিন স্বীকার করে নিয়েছেন 6 ডিসেম্বর, সেই দিন আমরা ভারত গভর্নমেন্টকে অনুরোধ করেছি, আজকে আমিও স্বাধীন রাষ্ট্র, তুমিও স্বাধীন রাষ্ট্র, স্বাধীন রাষ্ট্র হিসাবে আমার স্বাধীনতা উদ্ধার করার জন্য আসো, আমাকে সাহায্য দাও। তারা সাড়া দিয়েছেন।
Mr. D.P. Dhar, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi's personal envoy, arrives in Dhaka. He will assess the need for Indian support in the economic rehabilitation of Bangladesh. He calls on the acting President, Nazrul Islam. General Manik Shaw, Chief of the Army Staff, visits Dhaka and meets the Jawans who brought the occupation army to a surrender. He's accorded a rousing reception everywhere. The Dhaka cantonment has been converted into a massive prisoner of war detention camp. However, it bears no evidence of any barbed wire fences, and the Pak soldiers move about freely, enjoying most of their usual privileges. The one thing they certainly can't have now is their guns. Within hours of Pakistan starting the war, the eastern fleet of the Indian Navy seals off the Bay of Bengal. The aircraft carrier Vikrant spearheads the attack on Cox's Bazar, Chittagong and several other ports. December landing operations. Our cameraman says it wasn't easy. Big craft could not beach due to the powerful swell. The stocky Gurkhas, weighed down with equipment, would have been out of their depth. The shoreline was also heavily mined. Eager help came by way of a relay of small boats sent by the Mukti Bahini and the civilian population. Ashore, among the people gathered, is the captain of the local Mukti Bahini. He welcomes Brigadier Rai, the army commander, and Rear Admiral Sarma, flag officer commanding Eastern Fleet. Between victory and defeat, it is the war that takes its toll. Everything and everyone, including the Mukti Bahini captain, bears witness to that. In complete contrast to Pakistan's indiscriminate actions, the Indian naval guns and planes have been accurate. Enemy installations in Chittagong were bombed and rocketed in nearly 400 sorties, but not one civilian was killed. It is said that when an air raid alarm was sounded in Chittagong, Pakistani soldiers ran to the trenches while civilians climbed on rooftops to cheer Indian pilots. a woman of Bangladesh said to our cameraman, "I used to rush to the roof and pray that the Pakistani anti-aircraft guns would miss every Indian plane." The people's confidence in the aim and daring of the Indian pilots was not mistaken. Apart from one Daphne-class submarine sunk in a sea-to-sea battle, 6 ships and 1 gunboat were sent down in Chittagong. Oil tankers were set ablaze, 2 enemy gun positions were destroyed, and an ordnance factory and military barracks damaged. In addition, 8 chartered or disguised ships that tried to break the naval blockade were captured. Naval divers recover bags of currency and silver coins dumped into the sea by retreating Pakistani troops. At the Chittagong airport, a warm and victorious welcome awaits the operational chiefs of the Indian Armed Forces in the eastern sector. The 3 chiefs are received like some legendary wise men, bringing tidings of great joy to the people who are seeing the birth of their promised land. It is a time for extravagant feeling and expression. These jubilant people are celebrating their freedom. At a civic reception, the promise of the Indian Prime Minister to the people of Bangladesh is reiterated. The people are assured that the Indian Armed Forces would serve them and help in the restoration of peace. If the war was speedy, speedier is the waging of the peace. If the Indian Armed Forces deserve every tribute, so do the Army engineers, the sappers who built communications during the war and have now laid the foundations for peace. From Bongaon in India, the first train sets off for Jessore in Bangladesh. It carries 225 passengers, mainly railwaymen, journalists and army officers. It's a slow, sentimental journey. And, says a reporter, it was an occasion for being sentimental, for it was the first time after partition that an Indian passenger train crossed the India-Bangladesh border. About 10 kilometers of broad-gauge track and 2 bridges were built within a few days by Army engineers. A tremendous achievement. With forgivable emotion, a journalist declares that as the train clanged along the track and picked up speed, the wheels seemed to say, "Bangladesh, Bangladesh." Well, whatever other talkative trains may say, this one means a return to friendship and peace.